The Library of Alexandria by Riley, Amber, Sam, and Rin. Books are very important parts of our lives, and as Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "No man and no force can abolish memory in this war." We know books are weapons, and it is a part of your dedication always to make them weapons for man's freedom. Knowledge of books are held within each and every one of us and are passed down from generation to generation, and should be kept safe. This responsibility rests solely on our shoulders. There could have been knowledge in the Library of Alexandria that we will never know about due to its destruction. The Library of Alexandria impeded the passing down of knowledge. According to the ancient Egyptian, the Library at Alexandria, the library was first built in 295 BC by Ptolemy Soter and Ptolemy Philadelphus. 100 scholars lived and worked in the library, and it held about 500,000 documents within its walls. Alexandria was not only the name of the library, but it was also the name of the entire city. The library, however, was the main attraction. The library was a roaring place for people to visit. It contained a zoo, gardens, observations, and lecture halls. The scrolls that were destroyed in the library were made from a plant called papyrus. They would pound the plant into strips and then sew them together to create a scroll. No known documents are recorded to have survived the fire. The library was very large and contained many documents and scrolls. According to the ancient Egyptian library at Alexandria, the library housed over 700,000 scrolls at its peak. Everything was also done by hand, as opposed to how things are electronically organized today. All of the books and scripts were handwritten and organized by people. This makes them unique, and because of the destruction, we will never see the information and thoughts these authors had. Here are some images of the library and the scrolls it contained. The upper right-hand corner shows a sketch of what the library was thought to look like, and in the upper left-hand corner, you can see a room filled with scrolls. There were many of these great rooms throughout the library. The Great Roman War was between 45 and 49 BC, according to the mysterious fate of the Great Library at Alexandria. Julius Caesar and the Optimates had a lot of confrontation. The Optimates were supported by Pompey, who fled to Alexandria and were murdered by King Ptolemy XIII. Caesar was infuriated that he was not the one to kill Pompey. At this time, there was a war between Cleopatra and Ptolemy that Caesar became involved with. Caesar was one of the two parties involved in this war. The map here shows us the war that took place with a picture of Julius Caesar and a picture of the war in action. This war was very hard on many people, especially the Townsend people that were invaded as shown in the upper left-hand corner. The library was destroyed in war fires that were supposedly unintentional. They caught fire to the ships and quickly spread to the library. This caused a spark of curiosity from many people about whether or not the fire was accidental. The only known knowledge that has been found is that Julius Caesar may have had relations with Alexander's daughter. Alexander could have become upset by this, and Julius could have gotten mad and decided to burn the library down. But there's no known record of what really happened. The pictures you see here are showing how fast the fire spread from one book or scroll, fueling the rampant fire that burnt down the Library of Alexandria. According to the mysterious fate of the Great Library of Alexandria, the Arabs were against any documents that held information that contradicted their religious beliefs, and once they found that the library had many religious documents, they decided to burn the rest of it down. Here are some pictures of what was thought to look like the inside of the library. If you look closely in the picture on the left, you see a man with an armful of scrolls racing to grab as many as possible. These documents meant the world to some of these people and were burned in an instant. The Library of Alexandria was the biggest known library at the time it was open. It held many precious artifacts and collections of studies that were burned. Many of the things burned in the fire could have been the only copies ever created. When we think about all that was destroyed, it makes us think about what information, especially the religious documents, that were destroyed since these documents were so early. In 1995, Egyptian officials decided to rebuild the library so that it could be visited as a known museum. The library took 7 years to recreate and opened in 2002. According to Philip Schmucker of the Telegraph and Cairo, the cost of the project was 140 million euros. Here are some of the photos of what the library looks like now. It was rebuilt to look like the sketches of the library that we found. Now people can visit this library to see what it would have looked like.